Most TV shows have a few episodes that, years, perhaps even decades after its airing, still get talked about today as one of the finest moments the show has had. Sometimes it's because of the ripple effect it sends throughout the entire series, meaning the episode, or even just one moment from it, changes the entire trajectory of the show. Other times it could be due to how ambitious it is, with the writers coming up with an idea so grand and out of the ordinary, it would be hard not to remember it. Then there are the episodes that are just downright funny and quotable, and continue to make rounds in social media today. Zack and Cody, lasting about 6 years on the Disney Channel, spread across 2 shows, naturally has an episode that fits just about all of these categories and more. And although there are plenty of episodes that have ended up being huge game changers like Breakup in Paris, or episodes that have kind of become synonymous with the series like Commercial Breaks, I truly do not think there is a better written or overall funnier episode of the show than 7 Seas News, a season 2 episode from the franchise's second series, On Deck. Now, don't get it twisted, Suite Life has had a lot of great episodes, but to be honest, 7 Seas News is not only the episode that I personally always go to when I think about the peak of the show, but also the episode, at least of On Deck, that seems to be quoted the most. I mean, way to go guys, Let's Shoot for 40 alone has been going platinum on Instagram for some time now. And it was actually because of that made me decide to sit down and talk about it for a video. So sit back, relax, and go get yourself a sandwich, because I, Mr. Nostalgia, am about to talk about the greatest Suite Life episode of all time.
This just in.
Good evening, I'm Zach Martin.
And I'm...
No time for that.
The students of 7 Seas High are taking over the 7 Seas News.
Is that me?
We're on? Hi, Mom.
Tune in for an all-new Suite Life on Deck, Friday at 8, 7 Central.
7 Seas News premiered on Disney Channel on May 7th, 2010. In case anyone was wondering, to put in perspective what the vibe was like around this time, Nothing on You was the #1 song in America, and Iron Man 2 was the #1 movie in the world. But the Lakers were also fresh off of beating the OKC Thunder in the first round. How the turntables. So basically, the episode is centered around the main cast of characters who have been selected to be a part of a news show that'll air on the cruise ship's TV station, appropriately titled 7 Seas News. They share this information to Kirby, the greatest security guard of all time by the way, who informs them that he too used to have a show that aired on the ship's TV station called Boat Cops, a show about him busting people who were committing crimes on deck that ironically got canceled due to his camera getting stolen. Kirby was the GOAT, bruh. It's hard to believe this dude only appeared in like 10 episodes of the show. His presence made it feel like he was in it for a lot more. That's how you know the writers and the actor himself did a great job at creating him. I was devastated when I found out he died, man. The kids go to Miss Tutwiler, their teacher in charge of this project, thanks to her history as a weather girl, to ask about their respective roles in this new show. Can we talk about how crazy it is, though, that the teachers in this show also had to live on the boat as well, with the same kids that they have to teach all day, leading to moments like this where they end up socializing? If I was a teacher, I would have hated this.
Hey, Mr. Nostalgia, it's me, Jimmy from school.
Anyway, Woody is a cameraman, London is a meteorologist, Cody is a field reporter, with Bailey and Zach being co-anchors. This is when the episode starts to really pick up though, as nearly every joke from this point on really lands. A bulk of the episode focuses on the banter of Zach and Bailey, with both of them having very different approaches for handling news. Bailey is the one that wants to take things seriously, focusing more on actual facts than anything else. Zach, however, is only taking his look seriously, as the only thing he really cares about reporting are pretty trivial matters.
Our first story today, we turn to Shuffleboard, where Mrs. Peppermint set a personal best by only stopping to go to the bathroom 4 times. Way to go, Mrs. P. Or should I say, Mrs. PP.
But not only that, he's using this as an opportunity to absorb all the spotlight for himself, never letting Bailey have her time to shine as well. This unseriousness would later continue when he turns things over to Cody, who delivers a news report on a topic that, although he finds to be interesting, freaks out everyone else.
I analyzed a water sample I took from the hot tub and found it teeming with bacteria.
And then London on the weather goes just about as well as you'd expect. As disastrous as all this sounds though, everyone on the boat seems to be eating it up, mostly because people view it as one of those fake news shows that are only made for entertaining. Like, first take, kinda. No one actually expects real quality out of that show. Like, Victor Wembanyama can drop 1,000,000 points in a game, but they still only talk about who's the GOAT, LeBron versus MJ, you know what I mean? Thanks to Zach having the most lines though, he's the only one that really gets attention. Bailey, who had the same amount of screen time as him, struggles to find anyone to even recognize her.
How come no one wants me to sign anything?
Here's the check.
Bailey can't catch a break, bruh. Even her own boyfriend starts jumping her now. Doesn't help that Cody never once defends her either, when Zach calls her face a frying pan. Dude is low-key a horrible boyfriend. Not even low-key now that I think about it. He stay acting crazy. Tutwiler comes in claiming that the ratings for 7 Seas News was through the roof, even beating a boat cops. Kirby takes that a little personally though and says that it's not a big deal. After all, his show got an action figure. Yeah, I'm with him on that one actually. I'd love an action figure or even a plush of myself. Makeshift, let's work baby, it's time. Y'all denied me a little while back, but we had 100K now. Things have changed, we up. During the next broadcast, Zach starts asking the real questions.
Limbo contest controversy. If a little person wins, is it cheating or a win with an asterisk? And that's coming right up after these short messages.
But more importantly, Cody comes in with some breaking news, claiming that the ship is missing a passenger.
Oh, I hope it's Bailey!
Yo, Bailey is hearing it from everyone this episode. What did she do to y'all? Are y'all still mad about her trying to pass herself off as a dude like from the first episode? Cody has a kinda anonymous source that is able to back up his scoop. Keyword being kinda. Cody asks if Totally Not Kirby is able to ascertain who the missing person is. And although he says he hasn't so far, he does say that he's committed to working on the case until he does. After he's done eating a sandwich at least. Off camera, they're able to figure out that one of the cabins is signed out to someone who goes by the name Richard Gold. With Woody behind the camera and Kirby by his side, Cody prepares to investigate the cabin.
Has Kirby given any indication of how he plans on knocking? Will he use his knuckles or will he use some sort of knocking stick?
Knocking stick? There's no such thing.
Yo, who was behind this episode that wanted to bring in such Looney Tunes-like humor? The rest of the show is not written like this. This type of joke more so fits something like A Pair of Kings or Ant Farm, shows with zanier types of humor. No one answered the door, so Cody, Kirby, and Woody go in themselves, with Woody keeping the entire thing documented. And nothing could have possibly prepared them for what they'd find inside.
Cody, are you okay?
What's happening?
On top of everything else, the three notice that inside the cabin is nothing but mannequins and women's clothing.
Well, we certainly are learning a lot about Richard Gold.
To take even a further turn, London eventually comes skipping into the cabin and starts looking at the clothes inside. I would say it's crazy that she didn't even question the fact that the cabin was open, but then again, it is London, so. As it turns out, a Richard Gold, or Rich Gold, isn't a missing person. He's not much of a person at all, actually. London just decided to register a cabin underneath a fake name to store her extra clothes. Cody tries his best to find some sort of underlying or hidden meaning behind all of this to keep the story going, but Zach hits him with a please wrap it up. Actually, he's not even that nice about it. He basically just tells him he's done. He then turns to Bailey and delivers another crude remark about her, this time comparing her outfit to a mailman. Man, I don't think she looked like a man. Never mind. But rightfully so, Zach finally gets what he's deserved throughout this entire episode. But Bailey's had enough of his behavior and decides to get her lick back.
Hey. Oops, forgot the stamp.
That's not it though, bruh. Bailey decides to take it a step further and points out the running mascara on his face, sending Zach out of the room looking crazy on live TV. Tutwiler tries to take over as meteorologist since London isn't around, but ends up... You know, I really did want to make an under the weather joke, but the show kind of already does, so oh well. All right, Bailey, take us home.
And clear. Great show, Bailey.
Sweet Life on Deck will return here on Disney Channel's Friday night.
Yo, real quick, before we get back to your regularly scheduled program, I wanted to talk about today's sponsor. Me. I'm the sponsor. 2026, y'all, time to switch it up. Now, jokes aside though, I did want to briefly take some time to talk about the fact that I have merch now. Like, I've actually had it for a couple months at this point, and I even made a community post about it, but I've low-key been forgetting to actually plug it in the videos themselves. That'd probably be a wise thing to do. Anyway, yeah, we're here. Link, of course, is in the description, but as you can see, we have a couple different designs here spread across different products. Hoodies, shirts, hats, mugs, water bottles,
etc.
There's really two main designs. One contains my beautiful face with the logo right at the bottom, while the other one is a much more unique print that is mimicking the iconic Wilt Chamberlain 100 points picture. Obviously referencing the fact that I'm at 100k subscribers now. Thank you for that, by the way. But these aren't the only designs I plan on having. I already know what the next one is going to be, and it's pretty sick. So if none of these interest you, there will definitely be more in the future. Regardless of if you buy it or not, I wanted to also take this time to really go into how much I appreciate you all for the support I've received on this channel. You guys have truly changed my life for the better, and I couldn't imagine doing anything else other than sitting here and talking shop with you guys. So once again, thank you, and let's get back to the rest of the video.
Now we're back to Sweet Life on Deck on Disney Channel's Friday night.
Hey, for anyone that skipped that little ad, I was just talking about how I got merch now, by the way. Yeah, y'all ain't escaping that easy. What you thought this was? Jokes aside, the episode wraps up in a pretty funny way. Although 7 Seas news has been unfortunately canned, the death of the show has led to the birth of another. Or should I say, the rebirth of another. That's right. Boat Cops is back, baby. Let's go. Big boy, coming after you, want my sandwich, girl, big boy. 7 Seas News was always me and my brother's favorite episode of Sweet Life on Deck. Even to this day, we'll occasionally talk about just how funny it is, especially compared to the rest of the show. On Deck isn't bad or anything, definitely not as good as the first show, but all the other episodes just are not as funny as this one. The funny thing is, this episode is written by Pamela Eels, who is one of the main producers and writers of the series. So it's not like they had Chris Rock come in and ghostwrite this episode or anything. She does, however, have writing credits for shows like Family Matters, which for a while was one of the best sitcoms on TV. IMDb even mentioned that she stopped writing the show after season 2, which means she was pretty much right there for most of the show's glory days, before they started going back in time to fight pirates and cloning people. I really don't like talking about those episodes. Pamela was really in her bag with this one, though. From top to bottom, it's just a laugh-out-loud hilarious episode with zingers and one-liners left and right, most of which land. I think part of the reason why this episode is as good as it is because it doesn't feel crowded. Some episodes of shows like this, because of the fact that they have a certain amount of characters that need to appear in each episode, might have one main solid plot, but then have to come up with other ways to keep the characters involved. This episode, though, if you notice, didn't have Mosby or Marcus Little, who was a regular around this time. Because of this, really only the characters that needed to be in this episode were in it, and all of them were used appropriately, being put in situations that truly let their personalities and attributes shine. No, it really was all killer and no filler. That's word to Sum 41. Episodes like this and just about every sitcom really are rare, so I think that's part of the reason why this episode is better than nearly every other episode of this show. I also think what helps with this episode is that although a lot of jokes are pretty mean-spirited, it still feels kind of natural. We're 2 seasons into these characters all knowing each other, so Zach, and even to a lesser extent Cody, being mean to Bailey comes across more so as that just being their dynamic, as opposed to straight up unwarranted bullying. Don't get me wrong, some of it was still a little over the top, but that's why the episode ended the way it did. The episode never tried to say Zach was in the right for the stuff he said, and he obviously didn't get away with it. But, since we're on the topic, man did he have some good one-liners in here.
Our first story today.
And I'm Bailey Pickett, the other anchor person.
Oh, okay, baby gets her bottle. Well, unless they're cute bacteria in bikinis, we're not interested. Keep your head above water. Unless you're a tuna fish, then you'll die.
Unless you're a tuna fish?
That's my catchphrase. Come up with your own.
You're an idiot.
Sorry, that's Cody's catchphrase. We find out as we go
Live to our field reporter, Cody
Martin.
I hate
You.
Then even outside of Zach and his behavior towards Bailey, we still received plenty of funny jokes. This episode rarely missed.
over. Ew, Miss Tyler, your pants are all wrinkly. Those are her legs?
Uh-oh, there's cooties in the hot tub.
It was supposed to be a serious news broadcast.
Oh, come on, man, you're killing me.
7 Seas News remains to be arguably the sharpest written episode of the entire franchise. I'm not sure why they chose this episode to go all out, but I'm not mad at it. We got something really good out of it, and clearly people to this day are still talking about it, so it all worked out in the end. What I want to know though are your thoughts on this episode. Please feel free to let me know in the comments below. Did you enjoy it as much as I did? Check out my Patreon if you want to see content earlier than everyone else. Also subscribe to my second channel, simply titled Stalgia, for more of me. If you're new, feel free to subscribe and hit that like button, and like always, I am Mr. Nostalgia, and I'm out for now.